Hi guys, welcome to Tarot in the Dark. My name is Tori. Tonight we're going to take a look at messages from the ancestors. So let's see. I was picking up on an older woman, like a grandmother type energy. Ireland was coming through, Scotland was coming through, Greenland, Finland, like all of those areas there were coming through. Not all of them, but just those specifics, guys. Anyways, I was picking up on an energy of like something new. They kept saying shifting into the new, a transition into the new. This is interesting that this Robin card came out because it's about new beginnings, cheer, and cycles. I think for some of you, you feel like in the moment, like you're still sitting in the nest. The nest is getting ready to start to unravel, is what I'm being told. So this nest here that you feel like you've been kind of bundled up in, it's almost as if you've been like stored away, that's about to shift. Okay, so if you feel like you're seeking something, if you feel like you're in need of something, you're thirsty, you're hungry, those are just metaphoric examples for things that you spiritually are seeking and asking for. Maybe you need finances. Maybe you need others around you to support you. You're looking for community. I'm seeing the Three of Cups. Maybe you're looking for a partner, a spouse, a romantic situation. If you're looking for that, just be aware that something is about to shift. Now, if you're focused on that and you're not focused on pouring into yourself, or if you're not able to sit in the energy of like the presence of now, they're saying something about that could, it's almost like if you need to be spoon-fed, then you may not be prepared or as prepared as you think or hope that you are. Because there's something about seasons that they're showing me in this card where cycles have to end in order for new to begin. Okay, so maybe we're going to talk a little bit today, just where I feel them pulling me into, about making room for the new. So oftentimes we as humans, we want something, we desire something, but we haven't cleared out space for the new to come in, right? They're reminding me of when my son was younger. I would tell him, if you want to get new shoes, you have to give some old shoes away. If you want new toys, you'll have to give old toys away, right? Like, we're not bringing just a bunch of stuff in the house to collect it when there are people who are in need. So you have to give in order to receive. And that's what this is about. So there may be something that you have that you're holding on to, something that you don't want to release. This could be a mindset. It could be a personality trait. It could be something emotionally that you're attached to that you may not want to release in order to make room for the new. Because they're showing me cycles like the leaves, again, falling off the tree, and how the leaves that are meant to stay will stay, but that's because there's room for them. If you're not opening yourself up to make room for new things to come in, there's no space. How can I explain this? A container, I think I am explaining it, but a container can only hold, so much. Like, you guys know, this is my sister's shea butter that she makes. But this container is maybe 32 ounces. It can, 16 ounces. Okay, I was wrong. It can only hold 16 ounces. If I want to pour in more to this container, I need to empty something out. So, for example, I have half of the container is gone. So I have space to pour in more. However, if I had a full container, there would be no space for anything new to come in. So if I tell her, hey, I need you to refill this for me, and it's filled to the top, where's she going to put it? That's what this is, guys. So for some of you, there's something. I don't know if you could hear that, but it was like something got caught in my throat, and it was like a bubble, and it didn't want to come out. There's something that your ancestors are asking you to purge. It feels very much connected to the crown chakra and the third eye, as well as maybe the throat a little bit, but I'm feeling extremely impacted in my crown chakra and my third eye right now. It's almost like your vision, something about your vision and your ability to be able to see things through. Maybe your ability to be able to see cycles for what they are, like an acceptance of, an embracing of cycles ending and that opening up to new. Like they're showing me this card. It says death is like, basically death is not, there's like an understanding that you gain at some point that death is not about endings, but it's about beginnings, new beginnings. Because whenever there's a door that closes, another door has to open. Guys, I do feel like this may end up being a romantic reading just because of the energy that I'm feeling. I'm seeing a ton of like passion. I'm seeing interesting energies just sitting around me. So this 7th house energy is actually the same as this Libra energy here. This is about marriage, partnerships, relationships, your connections and contracts that you have with others. There's something about restoring or bringing back into balance the essence of love. So for some of you, you may have been attached to, or you may still be attached to someone that you feel very loyal and connected to. There could be some, even they're showing me in this Robin energy, some like energetic strings and cords attached to someone that may be lingering in your energy. Maybe there's an unawareness that this energy is present, or that it's even impacting you in the way that it is. But they're showing me this mediator here with this, look at that Neptune energy. There's something hidden. There's an energy or an emotion, some type of connection that you have that's attached to someone else. You may not desire to be attached to them. Maybe you do desire to be attached to them. Maybe there's something in regards to loyalty that you feel won't allow you to detach from them. But the mediator here, they're just showing that it's almost as if you need a go-between. And they're showing this mediator as the mediator needing to come in order to create division. That's interesting because mediators don't typically do that. Mediators typically come in to assist and support with restoring balance and harmony, right? And so for some of you, this could be energy that's coming up right now too, especially with this full moon in Scorpio. Breathe through the tension. You know, Scorpionic energy is all about transformation. It's also about allowing yourself to be honest in regards to those things that have been hidden. It's about being able to release. The Death card is about releasing. There's no holding on to or resistance with the Scorpionic energy of a full moon. This is about complete release of the old, understanding again the cycles they're showing me with death and rebirth, right? The Death card doesn't only stand for death, it also represents rebirth, because with every death, with every ending, there is a new beginning. For some of you, you are actually going through right now an ending in a relationship in order for a new way of doing love. That's what it is. It's not necessarily with that same person. There's something about a new way of doing love is about to enter your life. A new love, a new partnership, completely different than the old. But for someone, there's something about holding on to that past energy, but also holding on to the energetic cords that connect you with that person or that situation. And it has something to do with loyalty, because they're screaming that message at me. With this first quarter moon in Capricorn, unleash your kindest self. This is about unleashing the kindest self for you to benefit. It's almost like you're holding back or pulling back on what it is that you really desire due to fear. Because essentially, and this is interesting too, because I have this Devil card at the bottom of this deck here that's just been staring at me. I didn't want to put it out here because they're naked, but this is like this energy. It's like unleash your kindest self. Allow yourself to operate in your authenticity. Allow yourself to open up to see the full picture. You know, Capricorns can have a hard time with releasing. They take a hard, not take, but they tend to have a hard time trusting. But then once they trust, they're loyal to the soil. So that energy is confirming what we're talking about here. All right, I'm just going to take these. So let's go in. We have the Turkey. Someone is behaving stupidly. Okay. I don't know why I'm hearing, why did the Turkey cross the road? And it's to get to the other side. So it's almost like the energy of whatever this thing is. Again, it could be an emotion, a feeling, a mindset, a thought, an idea. It could be keeping you in a space of preventing you from crossing to the other side. And behaving stupidly is not like, oh, somebody's stupid. It's just that, like, maybe this is a cycle for someone. Broken wishbone. Wish will not be granted. Wow. So for some of you, I think this is a part of the challenge with releasing or disconnecting from some type of relationship. It's almost as if this situation was your wish at one point in time, or it still is. However, through the behaviors of someone else, it's like you've had to renegotiate your life. And for someone, there's just a challenge that you have around wrapping your brain around the fact that that's no longer your life, which I understand that because I've been there too. The way to disconnect from that energy is to remove the rose-colored glasses. Take the blindfold off. See the situation for what it was. Was that person giving you what you truly desired, or was that person, like, were they actually doing it, or did you just kind of have in your mind that this person was giving you something? Did you create like an avatar for that person, or were they actually that person? And for myself, those are things that help me really transform the way that I even look at him. And it's because I made this image up in my mind, guys. And oftentimes, especially if you're, a feminine energy or have more feminine energy in your chart, we tend to be dreamers. We want to make men, be spectacular. And we're like, oh my gosh, he's so spectacular. But the reality of it is that oftentimes we created them, we made them something that they probably weren't, and they just played along with it. And in that instance, yes, they were behaving stupidly, but part of that is on you as well. And that full moon that we had in Leo, as well as the Aquarian energy that we're in, this eclipse that's coming up, and us moving into the year of the fire horse, we are going to be pushed and nudged to get out of our illusional thinking. Neptune just left Pisces, so the illusions in the way that we've been seeing and connecting to the world, that's where that crown and that third eye are coming back into play, guys. Because the third eye chakra, or not the third eye chakra, it's the throat chakra, your expressive self, right? The way that you express yourself. When you don't see things clearly through your third eye, when you're delusional, or you're dealing with depression, anxiety, things like that can also affect your third eye. Your other chakras as well, but your third eye as well. But what'll happen is you'll tend to fall into delusions, seeing things with rose-colored glasses, and realizing that, wait a second, I made that whole story up. And the thing is, definitely don't beat yourself up about that. That's a gift. And honestly, astrologically, just based on my very limited knowledge of astrology, this is the perfect time for these things to come up. Actually, astrologically, if these things are coming up for you right now, where you're really like being asked to sit back and assess things through like a lens of truth and clarity, Like being able to break through the tension of like, wow, this person really had a hold on me. It's probably because I made them something that they weren't. They never gave me what I was looking for. They never could fulfill me. It's not because they're a terrible person. It's because they're not aligned with you. So it's like, you know what? It can't be his fault that this didn't work out. I have to take ownership of this not working out too, because he wasn't aligned with me. And I could see that at some point in time. And yet I decided to stay. And I stayed because the seventh house energy with partnerships, that Libra energy, can be very codependent and people pleasing. I stayed because I thought that's what loyalty meant. Because we were taught that love is hard. That it's not easy for someone to love us, and definitely not easy to love someone else. We're taught that you stick it out no matter what. You stay. You stay through the tension because that's what creates a healthy relationship. Which in some instances that can be true. When you meet your divine counterpart, oh, trust me, there's tension and you are going to want to run. But it's different. It's tension that feels like spirit is calling you out. It's tension that is kind, it's soft, it's gentle, it's loving. The essence of it is love. The essence of it is the divine. You can feel the difference. It doesn't make you question your sanity. It doesn't make you ask whether or not you're crazy. It also doesn't make you feel crazy because it'll validate you. It'll affirm you. It'll acknowledge you because it'll see you in your authenticity. So what happens oftentimes is that you get stuck in this broken wishbone, caught up in the fact that your wishes are not going to be granted because you can no longer have the illusion of this person that you've created, that avatar of the, Prince Charming or whoever your perfect avatar is. We create them in our minds, but then that person doesn't actually align with that. So then what happens is you have these two stones. This is the avatar that you made that person to be, and this is the person that they are. And now what's happening, because we've had all these astrological shifts, you're like, they actually don't match. So for this, the paint doesn't match. And the paint doesn't match because this individual is not a match for you. Sorry guys, I have to write this down. It doesn't match because this individual is not aligned with you. It doesn't match because your team, your ancestors, have greater for you. They actually want you to enjoy life. They want you to find fulfillment in life. They don't want you to feel stupid. They also don't want you to deal with people who are stupid. And it's not to demean or diminish anybody. It's not to put you on a pedestal and to make them lesser than. No, it's not about them. It's not about you. This is about something bigger than both of you. This is about purpose. This is your destiny. This is about you receiving what you deserve. You being paid back, recompense, compensated for all of the good that you've given and not received anything but stones in return is what I'm hearing. And so this is not about this person. This person gave you the best version of them. However, the best of them does not align with you because literally you're comparing apples to oranges here. You created an identity of who you wanted this person to be, right? I think we said this is the original, this is the actual person, or this is the avatar. You created an image of what you wanted that person to be, who you wanted them to be. And you operated off of expectations, hopes, potential, right? And then they showed up and you're like, oh shucks. And initially what we want to do is we want to blame the other person, like you, until you realize, and this is where your ancestors are saying to tap into your throat, your third eye, and your crown. Combine those top 3 chakras. 7, 5, 6, and 7. Combine those chakras and allow them to fall into alignment. It's almost like a merging here. They're asking you to merge those chakras and to align them in order for you to be able to see clearly. And then you will be able to connect this to the bigger picture. That's where the crown chakra comes in. And it's an acceptance of the fact that, yes, I feel this tension. Some of you are probably even wounded. You may be crying or devastated over the fact that you're seeing this person in light of who they truly are. That's devastating, guys. I've done it. It's devastating to look at the person that you love, that you thought was your wish, that you desire to spend the rest of your life with. It's devastating to look at them and say, God, Lee, do I even know you? Are you even the person that I married, that I got with? Like, because it'll make you question your sanity. You're like, am I crazy? And the reality of it is that even if you were, you're not now. You're not now. Because I'm sorry, I'll personally claim that maybe I was a little crazy for several years. Like, what the heck? I'm thinking something completely different than what's actually happening. But the reality of it is I created the storyline. I never afforded him the opportunity to show up and actually show his truest self because I was so gaga goo goo over him. Just like, oh, gaga gaga goo. He's different than anybody else I've ever dated. This is fantastic. Well, then you learn your lessons. Now I can see the big picture. Oh my gosh, this didn't work out because it wasn't supposed to. Yes! Thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you for breaking me free. If I could be totally honest with you guys, earlier today I was crying. I was like, God, I am so thankful. I was telling my ancestors, I'm like, I am so thankful that you guys didn't leave me stuck and trapped. Because I cannot imagine not being able to experience the freedom that I have today. And so for some of you, you may be sitting in that space right now where you're like, I don't want to not be with this person. I don't want to give up on my wish. This is not what I asked for. But I'm here to let you know that this is what you asked for. It's just that you didn't know it was going to show up in this way. Because a lot of you have been praying and crying and asking God to give you relief, to give you peace. Something as simple as peace. You've been asking for God to make a way, to show you the way, to align you with the things that are aligned with your destiny, with where you desire to be. This energy, this wish was broken because there's so much more in store for you. It was not aligned with you. And most of the time, what has to happen in order for us to get to the space to where we're willing to sacrifice and let go of the things that have been broken, those wishes that have been broken or fractured, we feel like Spirit's not actually granting us. Typically what has to happen is that person has to act a fool to the point to where you're like, what you had to do all of that? God, Lee, and initially you're like, oh my gosh, you couldn't have just told me you didn't want to be with me. Like, you couldn't have just told me you hated me. But then you realize, no, that's Spirit showing up on your behalf. It's your ancestors saying, listen, we know you couldn't see this person for who they were. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you who they are. And we're going to make sure that you see it so clear that you will never, ever, ever desire to go back. And that can be very painful, guys. Initially, and even for years, it can be very painful. But the good thing about this is that the ending, the death of that, the transition of that old is to get you into what you actually deserve. Not only that, what you deserve is what you desire. Okay, guys, let's keep going. Apple, temptation will test you. Wow. And then let's get this star, guaranteed success. Guys, this is so crazy. It's literally like, it's exactly what we were talking about, but also this temptation will test you. It's like this person wants to just continue to just like sting or cause issues or challenges. For some of you, this person who has caused all of this, whatever this drama is that I'm feeling here, they may actually try to come back and see if they can make it up to you, if they can apologize. And I'll tell you the best way to handle that, just my advice, is to test the fruit of their spirits. What they're saying, does it actually align with what they're doing? I would highly, and I am not God, but I would highly advise you to listen to anything that anybody has to say. I would advise you, from someone who's been through this, to listen to everything that they show you. Listen with your eyes, with their actions, and not with what they're telling you. Because people who behave stupidly have a very good way, especially when they know that you may be challenged with people pleasing, codependency, things like that. They have a very good way of convincing you that you were the initiator of their stupidity. They'll go a roundabout way. Oh, I'm not really blaming you for it, but if you didn't do that, then I would have never. Then that's blaming me. It's gaslighting, guys. So I would highly advise you to listen to what they show you and not what they say. Let what they say go in one ear and out the other, with an understanding that I need you to show up for me. Because it's almost like there's like the mediator, which is your ancestor. They're coming through to say, where are we going to draw the line? How far are you willing to go with this apple? You know, Eve, like where are you going to go with this apple? How much do you desire something that makes you think you're stupid? Look at this. This is rebirth here. We were talking about the death and the rebirth. The metamorphosis, right? The tadpole into the frog. You have serenity here, and you have communication, okay? This is that temptation that's going to come through to test you. Whoever this person is that broke this wishbone, that broke your trust, that fractured the promises that they made to you, they are coming back. If they're not coming back, they're going to test the waters. Because I keep seeing someone dip their foot in the water. They're going to test the waters. They want to see if you will open up to them. It's almost like they're sending out signals through like a frequency with this well energy here, just to see if they can tap into your peace. Okay, it's almost like this is happening energetically. So if they don't come back physically, energetically, you may feel disrupted. You may randomly just find yourself thinking about that person. You may feel like irritated by them at nighttime. You may be disrupted by their energy. You may feel like somebody's trying to invade your space or your privacy. That's typically how these energy vampires show up. But it's almost like they can feel and sense. Like your energy is recognizable, it's palpable. When you shift your frequencies, when you align to things that are greater than where you came from, when you fall into alignment with your path, for some of you, you could even be like, you know, meeting new people, you could be going out on dates, things like that. That other person can feel that. It's literally like this like snake energy where that person can sniff it out, you know, like a snake can sniff in the grass and they know exactly where to go to get their prey. So it's almost like, it feels like that. It feels like with this serenity, I always see this as like lavender. It's like they can smell your beauty. Okay, they can sense your energy at peace with the disconnect from them. Okay, and it's almost like they're sending energetic frequencies your way with this communication card with the well to say, hey, I actually don't want this to end. But you will know them by the fruit that they bear. And you'll know because the paint won't match. Okay, guys? Look at this, 444, the angels. It was 444 actually when I started this reading. That's crazy. Divine progress. Your angels and ancestors are coming through with this to say you have been putting in the work. You've been putting in the work. Use your intuition and trust your inner guidance. Be honest with yourself. See this situation as it is. Not for false narratives. There's something here about your wishes being fulfilled on the other side of this, guys. They were showing that earlier with this new beginning cycles and cheer. And you see guaranteed success here. Through your showing up healed, success is guaranteed. But this opportunity is coming in, and it is an opportunity. It's a blessing and it's a gift. Because I'll tell you right now, if you've been putting in the work, you put yourself first, you're accepting and embracing the lessons that are being taught and learned by most of the collective in this moment. If you've allowed yourself to transform from that tadpole or that caterpillar into the frog or into the butterfly, then trust me, when this person comes back that broke promises, that has behaved stupidly, you're not even going to give them a second glance. You're not even going to care. For half of you, you probably already clicked off the video because you're like, I really don't care. I really don't care. There's not going to be any thought in your mind that you want to reconnect with this person. However, for others of you that may still be in that area, and there's no right or wrong place to be, guys. That's one thing I wish I could scream from the mountaintops. Wherever you're at is where you're at. There's no right or wrong way. The teacher has to gain the lessons before they can become the teacher. So for some of you, you may be called to be a teacher next year, next 2 years, and the next 20 years, whatever, right? So you may be gaining these lessons right now so you can collect them so that you can get into work when it's divine timing. Others of you, maybe your gifts don't need to be used for another 15, 30, 40 years. So you may be in student mode right now, okay? There's no right or wrong way to be, no right or wrong place to be. Wherever you're at is exactly where you're at. But for those of you who are on the side of I really don't want to get rid of this person, I still love them. When this person comes back, you may go back to them. And I'll even tell you in that, unless your life is at risk, go right on ahead. Do whatever it is that you feel you need to do for yourself, because the reality of it is that you have to get yourself to this success. You just need to know that no matter what path you take, success is guaranteed. When the temptation is presented before you, just like with Eve took the bait, and guess what? So did Adam. So maybe some of you are going to take the bait and you're going to eat the apple, and maybe you're going to enjoy it. You may be feeling like you're missing something in your life, and this is exactly what you needed back in your life. If that's you, accept that, embrace that. What I will advise you to do, though, again, from somebody who's done this myself, I went back 15,000 times, guys, and I kept going back, and I stayed until I felt I was going to have success outside of that situation. But if that's you, when you find yourself, or if you find yourself in that situation, my advice is just to continue to grow, pour into yourself, and allow yourself to see things through the lens of spirit. Ask your ancestors to support you and assist you if you do go back. If you don't go back, ask the same things. Ask to be shown the lessons. Allow yourself to be open to receive that which you desire. The Mercury card here with Light of the Messenger, guys, Mercury is about communication. Okay, so this is kind of just clarifying this with the Magician here. So there could be someone who, again, has been conjuring up all these tools and ideas and thoughts, and they're just waiting to come back in. They may want to reason with you. They may want to inquire and ask your opinion. It's some type of sly, I don't know that they're manipulating in a negative way, but there's some sly way that they're trying to ease back in with you. Okay, that's for sure. I can feel that for certain. The Aquarius energy here with the star. Being you makes you a star, okay? So this is just calling out the fact that you are supported by your ancestors, but also that this is just an opportunity for you to continue to show healing, because it's the same energy that you have here with the star, right? It's like allowing yourself to just be healed through this situation, and any tension that you feel. For some of you, if this person comes back and they're tempting you, they're trying to get back in your goodwill, good grace, you may be very pissed off, like, oh, I don't even want to be bothered. That's a lesson for you to learn. That's a lesson for you to learn, because that's not connecting your crown chakra to the world around you. The crown chakra is what unites us. It's what allows us to see that we are in everyone else. It's the clarity that we need to see humanity through the lens of spirit versus through our lens, where we taint and judge and condemn and, beat down others based on their wrongs that they've done against us. It's where we take things personally. So there's something in that Aquarian energy too. There's also something in that Aquarian energy. They're showing me the Queen of Swords about being honest with yourself, seeing the bigger picture in all things. Pisces energy. Here we go with that Neptune energy again, guys. The moon, connect with your guides. I transcend. That transcending energy is also about transformation. It's about rebirth and allowing the cycles to end and begin. For some of you, this communication is going to be a fear. You know what's interesting? I just did a reading, and it's got a title, something about the most feared and exciting. Basically, like, these scary blessings are coming through, and they were showing me in that reading that this blessing coming in was going to scare the crap out of you, yet it's going to be the most exciting thing for you. And that's how this feels. For some of you, this is going to scare the crap out of you. It's going to trigger you in every way with that moon. It's going to trigger your insecurities. It's going to trigger your fears. It's going to make you feel inadequate, make you feel less than. It's going to make you question your sanity. It's going to make you feel like you are the problem again. But this is an opportunity for you to transcend the energy, for you to alchemize the energy, for you to shift it. Stay in your place of serenity. Find peace. Imagine smelling lavender in a field, and that there's no one there but you, spirit, your angels, and your ancestors. You may have to recenter yourself, refocus yourself. You may be so flabbergasted or overwhelmed by the fact that this person is returning to you that you may be tempted to do something, like you may just be ticked off, like, I can't take this. That's a natural reaction. So your team is just saying, we need you to be attentive, because what I'm picking up on with the scary blessings reading is that this is going to be the thing that shifts you into your blessings. So this may be overwhelming, frustrating. You may feel extreme tension in this, especially with it being so close to that full moon in Leo, which full moons in Leo, Leos are drama, no offense, but Leos tend to be a little drama. So it's like allowing yourself to be able to feel the tension of the dramatic energy, but realize that it's just energy. Find yourself back in this serenity. Find yourself back in the energy of facing your fears head on, not being afraid of anything, because you're standing in your power, because you recognize that your mind is clear, that you are healing, and that these are natural opportunities and events that take place that will afford you the opportunity to get to the other side. And look at what's on the other side, guys, is the double rainbow. This is divine intervention, ascension, perfect timing. It's serendipity. And these are the promises that your ancestors and your team have made to you that they are keeping by offering you blessings. Yet they're on the other side of this. Okay, so it's and I feel like we keep saying that, like, they're on the other side of this. But guys, if you are even a smidge bit empathic, you can feel this. You can feel it. You've been feeling it. You know that something is coming. The thing is sticking to it. It's that Six of Swords energy, that Eight of Cups energy. Like, I know I have to walk away. I know that this is going to be painful. I also know that it's for my good, but I also have to stick to it, right? I have to be able to get in that boat, knowing that that boat's going to be a little rocky initially, but that peace is coming on the other side of it. And that's just a part of walking and believing and trusting the divine. We understand that divine timing happens when it's appropriate, and it's never in the time that we desire. It's typically when we're in this energy of trying to break through the tension. We're exhausted, we don't want to be bothered, everybody's stupid, we're tired of people breaking their promises. Is that energy that usually is present when we are about to meet our breakthrough. Jay from Soulful Revolution, one day she was talking and she explained this, and I was like, oh my god, I never heard of that in that way, but it makes perfect sense. She said before the breakthrough, there always has to be tension. And that's what this is reminding me of. There's breakthrough on the other side, but the tension has to be presented first. And that's what this is. And this crow energy here is speaking to this tension for me right now, because they're showing me that the crow energy is the energy of memory. It remembers. So there's something about you remembering in order for you to break through. Remembering what was done, what happened, remembering where you came from, but there's also a remembering of who you are, who you were in a past life, a memory of your ancestors, like remembering of who you are. Why do they keep saying that? Remember who you are, like Mufasa, remember who you are from The Lion King. That keeps coming through. Because for a lot of you, though, I do believe that this energy of this person makes you feel, and it could not be romantic. This could be family too. Okay, because it does give the energy of like a mom who's domineering, who makes you feel like you're not good enough ever. It does feel like that to me too. So this could be familial, or somebody in your family is constantly just making you feel inadequate, and they're coming back to try to tempt you into falling back into their way of doing things. And you're like, no, okay? With the ship here, you're going places. You're moving in the right direction. Because you're moving in the right direction, remember, tension has to happen. Okay? This is movement forward. Whatever this experience, opportunity is that's coming through, is going to assist and support you in moving forward. You have the bear here. This is divine feminine energy. It's the mama bear, right? This is the boss. It's almost like be protective of who you've become. Because you guys know, you probably know this. I watch a lot of nature stuff, but if you watch anything nature, you'll know that mama bears, they are so protective of their little cubs. And so it's almost like, remember who you are. That's fallen in alignment with that crow energy too. Remember who you are, a boss, a CEO, right? You're the one who is the benefit. Don't allow someone else to make you feel that you're not. And then this iceberg here, this is just showing that there's so much more that you don't see. The iceberg you see on top of the water, and sometimes it can be frozen water, ice that it's sitting on top of. But guys, underneath it, there's so much more that is an illusion. It's almost like this Neptunian energy where you don't actually see it. So that's another thing coming through with this moon, is that you may be missing things that you need to know. So look with your eyes visually rather than looking with your ears and what you hear. The Phoenix, guys, this is exactly what we've been talking about. Death and rebirth. This is death and rebirth. This is you. This is an awakening. This is going to awaken something in you. I think for a lot of you, you need this to happen for you to see how powerful you are. Because I think that this individual has made you feel like a piece of crap. And I think the tables are turning. You recognize them, and you recognize that the paint doesn't match. I made you this. This is who you are. You don't match. So you see that because you saw that ticked them off. With that, they decided to do something stupid, act out, for you, you interpret it as a wish not being fulfilled. Oh my gosh, the star. I have to put this right here. Look at this. The star. The energy is just repeating. I'm only going to pull 4 cards. This person acted stupid, did something dumb, and now they're in regret. They're in regret because I bet you they're being affected by this energy in the same way that you are. Oh, judgment. Oh my gosh. They're being impacted this for the same reasons that you are. That Neptune moving out of Pisces into Aries is clearing our vision. Okay? It's clearing our vision. We're like, oh my God, I did that. Dang, I was acting stupid, right? That's this person. They're feeling like they were acting stupid. They're recognizing their stupidity. For some of them, they have a lot of pride, though. I'll tell you, with that Magician energy there, as well as this 8 of Swords energy, this can show up in pride, where you just really feel like you don't want to do the right thing, even though you know you should. So this person is feeling this Neptune in Aries energy, full moon in Leo energy as like, oh shucks, oops, I made a mistake. The paint don't match where I'm going, where I want it to be. Because a lot of this is about someone thinking the grass is greener on the other side. They're showing that with that bear energy, but they're saying, oh shucks, I made a mistake, right? 4 of Pentacles here. I should have held on to my person. Now I'm over here looking like a fool, and they're over there glowing, right? They're smelling your energy, this serenity energy. They're trying to send signals. You're cutting them off with the moon. You're like, I don't know what's going on with you. No. You know, they're like, no, please, see me. You're over here healing. You're shining. Your energy is vibrant. They can see how in alignment you are with your team. It's like you've answered the call with this Judgment card coming out. And so they're sitting in this energy of the 5 of Pentacles and the 8 of Swords. They're regretting their actions. Oh, for some of them, they could have been tempted too. That fell right under that. They could have been tempted by something and decided to choose that temptation, causing them to act stupid. And it could have been a cycle. Okay? Could have been a cycle. So it could have been third-party stuff, but it could have been a cycle. And you decided that you were going to focus on your healing. You're going to focus on yourself. You're going to focus on the big picture. And this person is trapped. So they think. They think they're trapped. And it's almost like for some of you, I feel like you've been their savior in the past, guys. So for some of you, you could have saved them in the past from their own mistakes, but they severed that with something that they did with that wishbone. They completely severed it. It's like there's no, see, access has been cut off. There's no way to reconnect this piece. Interesting. And there's more than meets the eye with this person. This iceberg, they keep showing me this, guys. There's something hidden with this iceberg and the moon. I'm seeing that escapism. So maybe some of them use something or someone else to escape facing the situation head on. And they're watching you be reborn with this phoenix, the star energy times 3, the crow, the bear, godly. You are a freaking boss. They're watching you and they're like, oh, no. But for you, you're looking at this with a different lens. See, through your lens, you're like, you know what? I need to gain the lessons, learn the lessons, and I need to accept this. Even if it's been challenging, because I do see that this has been challenging for some of you. But you're seeing that you need to accept it. And so it's almost like the mediator, again, the ancestors are coming through to draw the line to say, where will you fall? Which path will you choose? I don't know why I want to say pile number 2. I don't have a pile out here. No pick of cards. I don't know why I want to say that. How are you going to respond when this communication comes through? Because on the other side of this communication is the rebirth, the awakening and healing that you've been seeking. But it's on the other side of you deciding who you'll choose. Is it going to be you or them? You or them. Guys, this is an opportunity for you to show spirit and your ancestors, your team as a whole, how hard you've been working and how authenticity, what am I saying? How authentic you are in your journey to reach in your dharma. It's almost like this is an opportunity that's being afforded to you, is what I'm hearing, to allow you to be able to step in something magical. Okay. They're telling me to pull a couple of cards. All right, let's do it. This is what's coming in on the other side of this situation. For some of you, you could get this with this situation. If you see that this person has changed, this is what's coming through on the other side. Okay. Oh. Ooh, I love it. I love it. Wow. Okay, guys, look. The 8 of Swords. On the other side, oh shoot, I gotta cover them. On the other side of this communication, this is what's underneath. On the other side of this communication with this person is passion. This Devil card next to, first of all, it's next to Judgment there, but next to the Page of Pentacles and the 3 of Pentacles is not negative at all. This is something that you deeply desire, okay? This is something you're extremely passionate about. So whatever it is that you're like, oh my God, I just really want this. That's why I left this person. Or I really want this. That's why I want to allow my family to be a part of my life. I really want this. That's why this job has to go, right? That opportunity is on the other side of this, as well as individuals who will be on the same level as you. Okay, this 3 of Pentacles represents working together, community. We have the same goals, the same mission, the same vision. We have a higher purpose in mind. Okay, the Page of Pentacles represents new opportunities and endeavors that are tangible and that will present themselves with long-term success. The Page of Pentacles is different than the Page of Wands, the Page of Cups, and the Page of Swords. And it's because what the Page of Pentacles commits to, he follows it through to the end. So this is loyalty, this is commitment, this is stability. Long-term stability. The Pentacles work their way to success, and they're committed, dedicated. Back to the Devil, something you are passionate about. I mean, like, this is like a deepest desire. It's also something with it being by Judgment here. It's something that will make you feel seen by your team. It's almost like these prayers, this energy that you've been putting out to your ancestors, praying to your angels, asking God to help you with, you've been putting that out. It's the things that make you feel the opposite of disconnected, disappointed, feeling like no one sees you. This will make you feel seen by your team. You're going to be like, wow, you guys must have really heard my prayers. Because how did you know that that's exactly what I wanted? On the other side of this is your desires. Okay, guys, this is amazing. I'm going to end the reading here. I hope this resonated with you. If so, feel free to drop a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe and break through the tension. Breathe through the tension. Know that this is just a part of the cycle. Oh, the tension is in that card too. That MJ was talking about how tension creates breakthrough, guys. So you're being asked to literally do that. Breathe through this cycle where you feel the tension. Temptation and other things may come. It is on purpose. Push through so that you can receive the gifts and the blessings that you really desire. They're right on the other side of the wall. Look at, oh my gosh, guys. Oh my gosh. I have to show you guys this. Look at this. And then look at you. Queen of Wands here. King of Cups. Queen of Wands. Guys, this is passion. This is passion. This is vulnerability too. And it's also the ability to be able to see each other and to connect with each other through communication that is healing. Oh my gosh. I quit. Good night. See you guys later. Bye. Wow.